Hi guys, welcome to Didedi's Crafty Corner. Today's project comes to you from a Facebook page called Craft Collabs. This is a Facebook page that I belong to, and it inspires me to get crafty, which is why I signed up for it. So what it is it's a group of crafty people who get together, and we have collab prompts that are given to us by the administrators of the group. And this one was called C.A.S.E the Creator. C.A.S.E the Creator. So the idea was we would be set up in teams. We would be picked a partner. Someone would pick a partner for us, and we would go check out their social media and find something that inspired us to create. So my piece was picked by someone else, and she did a fantastic job. I'll leave the link below if you want to go see what she did. And the piece that I'm doing today was inspired by the person that was chosen for me. I'll be showing you her picture of what inspired me. So this is going to be an alcohol ink background, which in return, of course, I'm going to make a card out of it, because yeah, that's what I do with most of my projects, is make a card out of them. And it's going to be totally inspired by the colors that she did. So here's her piece. Her piece I found on Instagram, and she is Debbiejcraftycorner. Her name is Deborah Jenkins, I believe. And she did this alcohol piece on vellum. So this is actually vellum, which is why you can kind of see through it. Totally awesome. I'm digging the colors and the vibe. I'm not going to use vellum on my piece. I'm going to use alcohol cardstock. But I thought this piece was beautiful, and it completely inspired me to jump in and make a watercolored looking, ocean looking alcohol background for the project that I'm going to do today. You can tell that she used, I don't think she said in her blog, I don't think she said what colors, but you can tell she used turquoises and blues, and it looks like she may have rubbed a little silver on there as well. So we're going to be doing blues today in our project. So I've taken a piece of alcohol ink cardstock. Right now I'm grabbing my little mat because I don't want to get this alcohol all over my desk. Good gravy. No, I don't. And the three colors of blue that I chose for this particular project is turquoise, pool. Those are two different colors, turquoise, and then pool, and then sailboat blue. And sailboat blue will be the darkest color. I'm using the blending solution. I added that down first just to get my cardstock kind of wet, and then I'm just going to come in and randomly put dots of ink all over this cardstock. So my idea is to, of course, cover this cardstock. I didn't want any white showing at all. So I'm going in any place there's white, and I'm adding more color, and then I'll dry, I'm going to make sure there's no white. That's the first thing I'm going to do. And then I'm going to dry it with my Ranger heat gun. I find that heat gun is the perfect temperature for drying alcohol ink. It dries fast anyway, it really does. But before I go adding more blending solution, I just wanted to dry it and kind of get a feel for what it really is going to look like before I continue on. Okay, so literally it takes a second to get the super wet area dry. And that's what it's looking like so far. I'm going to take the blending solution now, and I'm going to go ahead and apply a little bit more. And my idea here is that I'm going to saturate it, and then I'm going to come in and add a little more color and see where it moves, and then blow it with a straw. Famous trick here. I really enjoy the look when you blow it with a straw. So I wanted the bubbles, if you will, or that kind of different bubbled look of all the different colors on the bottom. And then I wanted to have some more blown areas on top, but I wanted it to be like a super smooth top finish. So that's really what I was trying to do here. So again, I'm coming in with the dryer and I'm drying it, and then I'm going to do it all one more time. So I'm going to add my solution again, Adding just a few more dots. I felt like some of my dots kind of got washed out. So I'm wanting to add a little more lightness to it, and then I'm going to blow it. And then I think I'm going to turn it around and blow it again on the other side. And I'm really liking it right now. It's just missing just a little bit of texture at this point because of me blowing all those dots away. So I'm going to come in and smooth out the bottom. So I had a few areas on the bottom that were just a little dark, and I thought if I put the blending solution on there and blew it with the straw, it would smooth it out. I had a lot of extra blending solution on the bottom, so I decided to just tap it on and see what happened. And then I was in love with this piece. When I pulled it up, I'm like, that is it. Isn't it gorgeous? So that was going to be the final card. So to add a little dimension to this card piece, I wanted to put a ship window on it. To do that, I used a My Favorite Things stitched circle frame. Added some sequins around it. In between the two frames, I added a piece of vellum. And so right now I'm going to be heat embossing the sentiment on there with white fine detailed embossing powder. And the sentiment comes to us from Simon Says Stamp. It's from their Tilted Banner Sayings. And I'm using white embossing powder because I think it's really going to pop against that blue background, because the vellum is see-through, but it's not completely clear. My idea here was to create a scene that would not take away from my little oceaned kind of background, alcohol ink background, but I wanted to just enhance it a little bit. So of course, before I added this white embossing powder, I did go over it with the static tool. I think that is very important to do because especially on vellum, this powder will stick to everything. So you're going to see me in a minute. I'm going to brush away the excess powder from the sequin area, because where the sequins were, even though the piece was done yesterday, the glue was completely dry. All of that powder stuck on the sequins where the glue had been. So I'm taking a brush and I'm just brushing it all off before I heat set it. And then I'm going to take the Wagner heat gun, and I'm going right around the edges too, because I noticed a little bit of the powder went into the crack of the crevice, if you will. So the sentiment is the best is yet to come, right? I just thought that was perfect. And I have someone in mind for this card already. So the sentiment and the theme of the card just going to be absolutely perfect. So I take the heat gun, I'm heating it up off to the side. I want it to be very hot because I want to heat this up very quickly. You do not want to leave a heat gun on vellum for very long. It's going to warp the paper and burn the paper. So the idea is just to go in quick, get it done, take it off, and that's exactly what we did. So isn't that cute? The best is yet to come. Super, super cute. All right, so for the rest of this card, I'm going to be pulling in some dies. I'm going to be using 3 dies. I'm going to be using a, what is that? A starfish and a sand dollar and a sailboat. So the starfish and the sand dollar are from Gina Marie Designs. And I absolutely love these dies. I pull from them all the time. The little sailboat as well as the sentiment is from Simon Says Stamp. And it's just a small little sailboat. Now I decided to keep the sailboat white. In fact, all of the die cuts, I'm not even doing shading on. I'm just going to leave them crisp white to go with the frame, and the card base itself where you see peeking around the blue is white. And I thought that would keep it very nautical and clean, crisp for this card, which is what I wanted. So I'm now taking the art glitter glue with the fine detailed tip and the small bottle that I have, and I'm just applying this right to the background, and then I'm just making sure that it's in the area where I want to be able to see the boat through that vellum ship window that I created. So I'm taking my little towel, towel that I used to clean up glue and paint, and just kind of tapping it to make sure that there's no tackiness left on there that might stick to the vellum, because I didn't want it to ruin that vellum piece. I didn't want to be able to see glue through the vellum piece. So I've taken the first cell and added that. I'm going to take the smaller cell and add that, and just kind of make sure it's lined up to my eye. Doesn't have to be perfect. Remember, guys, we're just creating for our loved ones, and it doesn't have to be perfect. So the next thing I'm going to do is take my little die cut pieces. I'm going to add the little starfish to the bottom left hand corner and my sand dollar to the right. And again, I'm just going to take the art glitter glue and I'm going to glue it down. So I'm going to put this little starfish down and I'm going to play with it because I wasn't sure which area, how I wanted it to sit. I didn't want it to sit straight, and you know, being that the starfish has many feet, it kind of looked like it was straight no matter which way I put it for a minute there. But then I found a spot where I thought, oh, okay, I like that. The sand dollar will be much easier. I wanted to tuck them right behind the frame. Nothing is popped up on this card. It's all glued right down to the alcohol ink background, and that is really easy to do with the art glitter glue as well. I have no problems with that. Excuse me, guys. The frame itself, I'm going to be using my larger tip, the tip that comes with the art glitter glue, in my bigger bottle, and I'm going to be pressing that down. Now, because I did heat set it, it's a little warped, so I'm going to press it down with my fingers just for a few minutes just to get it a little tacky on there. As you can see, I'm just going to kind of hold it down just for a couple of seconds, and then I'm going to throw some of my acrylic blocks on top of it, pressing it down. I think I put 3 of them on there, and then I actually set my bottle of glue on there as well, and this is how it turned out. Super stinking cute. Now, I toyed with the idea of adding some glass beads or a few little glass somethings, but I really thought that this was the perfect combination. So here's a close-up, and then here's the final photographs for this piece. I enjoyed this tremendously. I enjoy being a part of this group, and you should stop by and check us out. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.